everyone, it's Elisa. In this lesson, we're going to be practicing how to solve some equations. Here we got a bracket. This bracket tells us that we need to apply the distributive property. So I want -4 copies of everything in that bracket. -4 copies of 6a as well as -4 copies of that plus 3. So what that looks like is -4 copies of 6a as well as -4 copies of the positive 3 of those two terms inside that bracket. 6a and plus 3. Okay, so in our expansion, I'm going to do the expansion first and then go ahead and highlight all of those colors again of where the numbers came from. So we're going to start off with the -4. So I want -4 copies of the first item in that bracket. I want -4 copies of 6a. And then again, I want -4 copies. The second time, I want -4 copies of the second item in that bracket, which happens to be a positive 3. That will be equal to 20. To go over the distribution, let's look at that -4. So that -4, the 4 has a negative in front of it. I keep saying it because it's important. I need to take that -4 every time I take a copy of it. So here I saw it once. Here I saw it again. The negative did not go away. It's still there. So -4 of 6a and -4 of 3. -4 of 6a as well as -4 copies of the 3. Okay, now that I've distributed -4 to both of those terms inside that bracket, let's work out those factors because there's numbers that we know and we can multiply those numbers. So I do know I'm seeing in this first term a -4 is being multiplied by 6a. There are things that I know the result of. 4 times 6, I can handle 4 times 6. Those are two numbers. So what is 4 times 6? That's 24. There's a negative in front of the 4, so it will be -24a. Next, we got 4 times 3. Those are numbers. We can handle that. -4 times 3 is -12 equals 20. So there are, in this expression, I'll use a different color for this, there are 3 terms. 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms. If our goal is to isolate a, have it by itself, are there any terms without the variable that could be moved? For sure, there's that -12, and that -12 and 20 are constants. We should group those. So to move the -12 to the right-hand side, we should add 12. So we'll start off with -24a minus 12, which is 20. Our goal right now is to get rid of that -12, so I will add 12, do the opposite operation, and I will be doing that to the left as well as the right-hand side of my equation. This reduces to -12 plus 12, it reduces to 0. So we're left with -24a is equal to 32. So 20 plus 12 is 32. Now we got 2 terms, so -24a and 32. There aren't any other loose terms that need to be moved, but there's the factor of -24. So -24, which is being multiplied by a. Get rid of that, we are going to divide, and we're taking that negative with it. So divide by -24, divide by -24. We're going to keep going here. 24 divided by 24, that's 1. So 1a is equal to, we got a fraction, an improper fraction, which definitely can be reduced. What could it be reduced by? It can be reduced by 2, by 4, anything bigger. 8. It could be reduced by 8. So our numerator would be 4, our denominator would be 3, and there's a negative attached to it, so we can say A is equal to negative 4 over 3. Normally, if there's a negative that exists in a fraction, it's usually write it with the numerator, or you would also normally see it just off the side, like that. Let's try another question that uses the distributive property. Let's expand that bracket by distributing the factor of negative 3 to the first and second term inside that bracket. So our first term is negative 5x. The second term is negative 4. So that negative 3, grabbing the pen again, the negative 3 is going to be applied to the negative 5 as well as that negative 4. We'll start by recopying the left-hand side. So we didn't do anything with the left-hand side yet. So 33 minus 6x will be equal to our expansion. So negative 3 copies of negative 5x, and then another negative 3 copies of negative 4. I'm going to highlight those numbers just so we know where they came from. The negative 3, our negative 3 is appeared once. It has been sprinkled to the first term and has been sprinkled to the second term. So the negative 3 copied twice. Then it has been applied to the two terms inside that bracket. So negative 5x from our bracket as well as negative 4 from inside that bracket. In our next line, I want to simplify the factors within those terms. So there's some multiplication that could be done. So left, we just have 33 minus 6x. Still haven't done anything there yet. But here, there's some stuff we can do. Negative 3, negative 5. Those are numbers. We can multiply those numbers. Negative 3 times negative 5 is 15. Then I'm going to attach on that x. So we got 15x. Negative 3 times negative 4. Positive 12. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead and identify all the terms at this point. Now that the brackets are all gone, there are terms. So there's 33, there's negative 6x. On the right-hand side, we got two terms, 15 as well as positive 12. Are there any like terms in this equation? Yeah, we got constants that are like terms, the 33 and the 12, as well as the 6x, the negative 6x, and 15. 15x, those are also like terms. So let's go ahead and move the x's together. Okay, so I'm going to decide to move the x's to the right-hand side. We can group the x's first or the constants. It doesn't matter in this case because both of those actions need to be happening. So let's say we want to start by moving the x's to the right-hand side. So I'll start on the left with 33 minus 6x. And then on the right we'll have 15x plus 12. Okay, now to move the negative 6x to the right-hand side, we need to do the opposite. So I will be adding 6x plus 6x plus 6x. And the plus 6x is happening on the left and then the right. So that on the left, minus 6x plus 6x, that leaves me with 0 x's on the left. So now I'm closer to isolating the variable. So we have 33 is equal to, now we can do some grouping. So we have 15x plus 6x. 15x plus 6x is 21x. And then I'll wrap up with that plus 12. Now we can group the constants. So the 33 and the 12. To move a term of plus 12 to the left-hand side, we're doing the opposite operation. So the opposite of plus 12 is subtract 12. We'll start with the original equation. 33 is equal to 21x plus 12. And now I'm going to go ahead and subtract 12 from the left and the right hand side. Minus 12, minus 12. On the right hand side, the plus 12 minus 12 reduces to 0. On the left hand side, when we have 33 minus 12, that gets us 21. So let's keep going. We would get 21 is equal to 21x. The only thing left would be on the right hand side, next to the x, we have a factor of 21. To move our factor of 21 times x, the opposite we'll be doing is division. So we'll do 21 divided by 21. 21 divided by 21 is 1. 21 divided by 21 again is 1x. So we found out that x has a value of 1. Normally, x is usually written on the left-hand side, so I could say x is equal to 1. 1 equals x, x equals 1. The order of those things don't matter because they're equal to each other, so I could just flop them right at the end. So that's it for this question. I'll catch you guys on the next lesson.